Life has its ups and its downs. There are these moments when one thing just comes on top of another. Sometimes it seems that everything that can go wrong goes wrong. Life can treat us hard. At times we just wonder if we're going to make it. A failed exam, the loss of a job, broken relationships, loneliness, something seems to hit all of us sooner or later. And then you have the real tragedies that have a way of sucking the life energy out of us. A terminal illness or the loss of a loved one. Why do these things happen? Why is there so much suffering in our world? Surely there is beauty and wonder in life, but it exists side by side with pain and suffering. Think about a beautiful rose. When you try to pick it, you will feel the thorns. A seashore is for many a beautiful scene, but for some it will remind them of a destructive tsunami that wiped away all they had. When we talk about suffering, we most often refer to real people. Why did she get cancer? Why did he die so young? You see, our very questions about suffering reveal the existence of evil. If there is something such as evil, there must by definition be something such as good. And if there is good and evil, we must have some standard by which to differentiate between the two. So if there are moral standards, this must come from somewhere or someone. The question is, are good and evil merely two sides of the same coin? Have they always existed side by side? I admit that good and evil are hard to explain. It's like trying to explain what darkness is. Perhaps one of the best explanations for darkness is simply the absence of light. In the same way, evil is really the absence of good. So evil is defined by a comparison with what is good. If there would not have been good, there would not be no evil. Only good can set the standard for evil. This means that good existed before evil, and this logic originates in the biblical worldview. The universe was once in perfect harmony with all that is good. The biblical narrative brings us all the way back to the origin of evil. A perfect being became proud and selfish and rebelled against his maker. We encounter this cosmic battle between good and evil. He no longer wanted to love, but only be loved. He no longer wanted to serve, but only be served. You see, the real problem of evil began with the problem of self. Pride is at the heart of it all. Our world got plunged into this great controversy, and when you think about it, it is pride that leads to most suffering. Divorce, abuse, manipulation, dictatorial control all stems from pride and selfishness that fills the hearts and minds of men. Good and evil can really be traced back to a conflict outside of this universe. And in a way, we sense that these things are often outside of our control. So what hope do we have? Is there a God who deals with suffering? Again, the biblical narrative tells us that God himself came to this earth in the form of a human being. Jesus came down to where we are. He became one of us, lived life as a human being, and chose to suffer with us. God did not merely stand on the sidelines and watch while we suffered. He entered into the conflict and defeated the enemy. The consequences of pride and sin led to suffering and death, and this is what he went through so we can be set free. He reversed the curse that had come upon this world. The last chapters of the Bible describe a newly created world without suffering. There is light at the end of the tunnel. A bright future is on the horizon. But even now, in the midst of our tragedies, we can know that there is someone by our side. Someone who understands the trials of life, but has conquered them.